My name is Andy and I sing for WVNDER and do production. Some of the main differences between Precipice and our last album would be that it's a little bit more dynamic. I think that it has a wider range of sounds and it's a little less pigeonholed when it comes to certain genres. I think that the lyrical content is also a little bit more imaginative, it's a little more creative. And I just think we've all matured and grown a little bit since our last release.
My name is Jack Rentschler. I am the lead guitar player and primary composer for the band WVNDER. The primary difference between Precipice and the self-titled album is if the first album sounded like summer, I think Precipice sounds like winter. It's a lot more sad, as glum as that sounds. It's much more real to me. I think the message that's portrayed in the lyrics and even in the instrumentals are a lot more important to us and hit home quite a bit more than the songs on the self-titled record did.
My name is Brett and I play drums in WVNDER. Between Precipice and previous releases, self-titled, I mean, it was a very different point in our lives. We had just started the band and Jack had a lot of those songs like on the back burner, like from, I don't know, he had those songs written for a good like maybe almost 2 years before we had even like put the self-titled album out. And at that time we were listening to a lot of like, we were really influenced by Transit, at least. I know Jack was like obsessed with Transit at that time and like had like more of a pop punk edge to it. And now with Precipice, we're kind of leaning a little away from that, not too much to where people are like, whoa, what is this? But I think that it's the right step forward for trying to kind of evolve our sound, but we don't want to, I don't know, be too far from why people initially loved us.
As a new member, since I joined after Precipice was written and recorded, I definitely think that this album is a good progression for the band. It has some very familiar and safe songs that an old WVNDER fan would definitely be able to get into, but at the same time, there are some very different songs that like have a very different feel and style from our last album. On Precipice, some of my favorite moments would definitely be the song Limbo, which features Bradley Walden from Amorosa, which is very exciting because he's one of our favorite vocalists. And another song I would have to say is Crier, because it's just a very fun and energetic song and it gets pretty heavy at the end for us, so definitely some of my favorite stuff on the album.
My favorite song on Precipice is Bliss. That song holds a real special place in my heart because I have worked on that song instrumentally for the better part of 2 years. I was jamming on that riff even before the self-titled album even came out, and it was really cool for that to be able to hear that song kind of come to life after working on it for that long. I never thought it was going to happen. I love the lyrical content of that song also. I think it's a pretty cool concept.
So my writing style for vocals is kind of contingent on how the music sounds. I don't really like to write dry poetry. Instead, I wait for the instruments to come and then I sort of figure out my melodies afterwards and put the lyrics to the songs. I kind of try to play off the way the instruments make me feel and then choose the theme of the song based on that aspect. I also really like the end of the album on our last track, Bliss. It's kind of like a cathartic ending and something that I've always wanted for the band.
One of my favorite moments, at least, is at the end of the record in the song Bliss. It's kind of like an unexpected thing, especially with WVNDER and our sound, like how the first half of that song is like, it's kind of quiet, and I'm using actually brushes and like when the percussion first comes in, and then later in the song, Jack ends up like, after the song is like full and everything, like Jack actually has a guitar solo, and like there's no other guitar solos on the record, and then all of a sudden that comes in. So I think people were probably like, whoa, I did not expect that.
Jack definitely tried some different things in terms of his guitar writing. There's like a bluesy solo, there's like even some metal-esque riffs going on there. So, you know, there's a lot more than just like our pop punk kind of ambient sound that we were going for in the first album. And we're definitely excited to progress and continue writing in new styles, but also keep the same styles that people are familiar with.
The writing process for this album was a little different. I think it was a little bit more premeditated, and we gave ourselves more time to develop the material versus our last record where we just kind of like pumped out all the stuff at once. For Precipice, we focused a lot on pre-production and trying to be as prepared as possible before going into the actual tracking process.
We tracked the vocals, bass, and guitar at our singer Andy's studio. I used my signature model from Relic Guitars The Hog, which is a custom company based in the Netherlands. I used a white Strat that's made by them also, and then I used one of my American-made Fender Strats. I really like the twanginess and metallic sound of single coil pickups. We used my Mesa Express 550 for the reamping, and then we used Pod Farm for the leads.
I've recorded drums at Buzz Lounge Studios with Eric Taft, and like with the self-titled, I literally recorded drums in Andy's basement, so it's like you can only get so good of a drum sound from that. And with Buzz Lounge Studios, like I was in an actual live room, and like Eric Taft really helped like bring out really good drum sounds for this record. So it was miles difference in sound compared to the self-titled.
The Wanderer is kind of our emblem, I guess you would say, him and the Wolves. And with the first album, and with all of them, you can kind of see that each of the album arts is at a different time of the day. The self-titled is during the day when it's bright. The Wanderer is fully clothed in his traveling gear. In Rest, it's dusk, he's tired, he's sitting down, he doesn't really know where he's going to go. And in Precipice, you see at night, he's in the field position on a boat, his clothes are tattered, he's been journeying for a very long time, and he's quite lost. And I think that the tone of the record matches up with that aspect of the album art very well. The record is very much about being lost and not knowing your place in the world. And that's very much how the Wanderer feels. Maybe next time he'll be dead, or he'll have found happiness, the happiness that he's journeying for. We're not sure where it's going to go, but definitely expect him to make an appearance on the next record.
I think the Wanderer sort of represents the restless soul inside of all of us, or maybe the hopeless romantic, or just somebody that wants to be better as a person.
Now that the record's out, I'm hoping that it really exposes us to a lot more people, not just people who are into pop punk and alternative. But this record, I think, was like, I want it to be kind of a message, especially the people who heard self-titled and even the Rest EP, that like kind of we don't really want to be put in a box as far as like I mean, especially in like a pop punk genre, people kind of expect you to put out a lot of bangers and, you know, songs like that. But it's like, especially at this point in our lives, not all of us are really influenced by a lot of that music. We're influenced by a lot of different stuff. So, I mean, it really shows on this record. So I'm hoping that it can really reach out to a lot more people.
We wanted to use this album to take our band to the next level, to take ourselves as musicians to the next level, and to personally just grow as people.
I honestly, I don't write music for other people. I write music to express myself, and I think that's how the best art is made. I think as long as you stay true to yourself, and as long as you are writing for yourself to express your feelings, then your art will reflect that. And that's all I set out to accomplish with this record. I wanted to make the record that I wanted to make with my best friends, and we did that successfully. The fact that other people like the music and the songs that we write is just icing on the cake, and that means a lot to us, that people can connect with songs that are so personal to us.
And for everyone that says that Wander needs more screams, we got one on there, so look out for that. A lot of hard work went into this album, and I think I speak for the whole band when I say that Precipice is the project that we're all most proud of. Precipice, check it out.